So when people talk about, oh yes, we're doing this for the ancestors, it's for the ancestors to bless us and this and that. What do you what in voodoo in Haiti? How important is the ancestors, and what exactly does it mean when someone's talking about ancestors?
Okay, well, um, the word ancestor is a code word. You know how the word ancestor, which in Creole is Zanset, Zanset has nothing to do with family history. When they're saying Zanset, which is translated into ancestor, we know that term means Voodooism. Especially when they say line up your prayers with your ancestors, that's a lie. Why would you need to line up your prayers with your ancestors? Because when you pray to the Most High, no, so it's a code word for Voodooism. It's a code word for mysticism. It is a code word where it's a nicer term. And we, especially in the English language, we have so many ways of adding nice terms to things that are just wrong, but it sounds better, so we're gonna use that. It's just Voodooism. It's mysticism. Wiccans. I was explaining to you. There's only two groups here. There's God's people, and then there's the devil. There's nothing in between. And if you believe that, something's just not right. Because in reality, is a kingdom cannot be divided. It will fall. The devil. There's no such thing as straight up Wiccan, white magic. Whatever name you want to give it. They all belong to the devil's kingdom. It's all one group. There's no white magic. There's no light magic. There's no dark magic. All of it is Voodooism.
Right.
Magic is Voodooism. Witchcraft is Voodooism. So when somebody says aligning your prayers, aligning your life, any of those terms, they're just nicer ways or new age ways of getting your guards to be down.
Right.
But no, if it's not what the Word of God tells you to do, it's just not yours.
Miss Rooby, one thing some people may want to know as well is, how would one know that they're under some form of attack stemming from voodoo?
Well, let me see. I have been with the Lord since I would say 7, and we just moved into a house here about 2 months ago, and we found there were demons.
So that one more time. It's like it broke up a little bit there.
We moved in 2 months ago, and it was spiritual warfare.
Wow. Okay.
So I've been with the Lord since I was 7. My husband, my entire household. There's the first thing is, I'm explaining my background. What our relationship with God. Period. Sold out to the Lord in all things. And we came into the house. The first 9 days and up to a month ago, we were fighting demons. And it doesn't. There's different levels to everything. But how do you recognize it? Arguments. That is the first thing. If you want to know if you're not lined up right, arguments. Because the first thing the devil has to do is the two people, that's leading the household. Those two will be at odds.
Right.
And it could, it's the divide and conquer concept. Me and my husband, we moved in here. We argued 9 days straight.
Wow.
9 days straight. And I'll tell you why. It's a house that was being built. You have so many different people coming in, especially when there's no claim on the house.
Right.
In our culture, when we move in anywhere, the first thing we do is we wash the house with herbs. What herbs? I don't know. I just clean my house. But the way we do it, spiritually, we'll have our own spiritual mentors come pray with us. We didn't do that when we moved in. I guess we must have been too excited. And I'm telling you, I saw it. So everyone has different gifts.
Right.
But if you can't see it, you're going to feel uncomfortable, and there's a smell. If you're going to go anywhere, I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit is always there to warn us. There's the devil, for whatever reason, it translates to us as a stinky smell. It may not be smelly to him.
Right.
But it's at odds with our spirit. We're going to recognize as bad smell. Whatever the spirit is, like and if it's a person that is possessed, you're gonna feel uncomfortable. You're gonna keep smelling bad smell. You're gonna be like, you're just gonna just be uncomfortable. That is, walk away. If it's in your house, there could be like you can't figure out where the smell is coming from, or there's arguments in the house and nightmares.
Wow.
So what we did was, which what we should have done, is come in, make a claim on the house. You got to do that, because if there's no one to claim it, there are spirits wandering the earth. That's where they were cast out.
Right.
So that's a no. What we did 9 days later, after he was like, I'm leaving, I'm like, sure, you can leave, and then I'll leave, and you still left with the bill. And our children were counseling us.
Right.
They were like, we've been taught to pray, and they're like, we need to call for prayer. And when your children, and every night we had an issue, they had nightmares. And that's the one thing. It doesn't matter what the children's age is. When you and your husband, you and your spouse, that it's a godly house, the two of you are arguing, your children will have nightmares.
Wow.
And I'm not sure why, other than the fact that the cover, I know why, because the covering is being shaken. That's why. Because the devil can't touch your children until he goes after that covering first.
Right.
That's why. So we called for prayer, and I was seeing the thing, like it manifested in body form.
Wow.
And it was, the way our mind translates it, is different from person to person. But for me, what I saw was a short little thing that was dark. And it was like, and it got so far from me where it tried to hold my hand.
What? Wow.
And there's a story behind that, and I'll tell you why. This is a bonus point, which I didn't plan on sharing. But for me, being raised in a house of Voodooism, I was dedicated to the devil. So
really?
Yeah, because there's baptism in all religion. It's a religion. But it goes a step further to that. They socialize you with a spirit. So for me, and I do have the markings on me, and I think Sean has seen that. On my left and my right side, they did it twice. And so the spirit, and they tell you the reason why they did it, I kept on getting sick a lot.
Right.
Because my family had a lot of money. So obviously, like, witchcraft and whatever, but the devil can't heal you. So the best thing he could do was, since they were sending spirits, to do whatever they were doing to me, what they could do was house my body with a spirit.
Wow.
But becoming a Christian, the Lord showed me that it's selling your soul. They're not holding it for you. It's selling your soul, because the Lord literally gave me a vision to show me where He took me from, and it was not a physical realm. It was a spiritual realm. He literally had to walk me out of hell.
Wow.
So that's, you can question another day, but so what it does is, and this is shamefully admitted, and anyone that, if you hear questions on it or answers on it, please let me know. What's shamefully admitted on my part is, and that's why I tell you, if you've been on the devil's side and you become a Christian, you can't go back. Right? Because whatever pact you made ended, and if you go back, all you're doing is paying your due, which is your spirit being bound. Right?
Wow.
So for me, it ends up putting me in two worlds. Okay? And what it does is that if I'm not prayed up and I'm not plugged in, because it left its marking on me, right?
Right.
For whatever reason, I'm more susceptible to seeing them. And it could be a spiritual gift, and I could be giving the wrong interpretation. But what confirmed it for me, I keep referring to LaShawn because normally I'm having these conversations with her.
Right.
Jackson, no, a family member of my husband's, trying not to say names, did her own voodoo ritual. I guess the goal was witchcraft. The goal was to attack me. And she said she was recounting it to the person who came and told me was, Rooby pretends she's a Christian, but she's lying because the people that's protecting her or she's serving right?
Mm-hmm.
And she named Win. So she was like, because I have an adopted mom and I have a biological mom. So she
Right.
actually said this was dated to her adopted mom. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that she could give the timeline, because I always tell people if you're a Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you're going to see, you're going to see the blood,
Right.
because that's the whole point. The blood of Christ is over you. You're born again. You belong to Him. Period. Right. But
Right.
if you're gonna go into Voodooism, because it does leave your print, you're gonna go into
Mm-hmm.
Voodooism, you're gonna find she was there.
Mm-hmm.
Not there no more, but you're gonna find, because it leaves a footprint.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why there's a footprint, which is why whatever sin you committed, don't go back to it, because the devil knows that sin belongs to you. He's gonna just keep reserving it, repackaging it.
Well, say that one more time. Repeat what you
I
just said one more time.
was explaining in terms of sin. I was
Mm-hmm.
saying it so it'd be easier to explain. Let's say your greatest sin, or whatever you think that is your sin. Let's say you're a thief, and you're
Mm-hmm.
born again. You're no longer a thief.
Mm-hmm.
The devil, who knows your past, will always put things in front of you to see if you're gonna steal it.
Right.
Right. So that's why you have to be prayed up and alert. Though I'm no longer there,
Mm-hmm.
but the enemy's goal is to constantly, because he can't figure out what else you could do, because he's not a visionary, he cannot create, but he knows that thing got you the first time, and he'll try to resell it and re-give it to you, repackage it.